Well, that is true, and he sounds like they're still confident, but if you had to take away some positives from Game 6, what would they be?
The first quarter, they were up 17 points at Golden State without Chris Paul in a closeout game. And you end up losing by 29 points.
Oof.
So what do you have to build on? The ability to shoot threes, in particular earlier in the shot clock. Chris Paul does a great job of probing, and usually you're going to get your shots later in the clock because he's a great decision maker along with James Harden. But going against a set Warriors defense is not something that you want to be a healthy recipe for success. As you see in the second half, they clamped down, they got back on defense, they suffocated the three-point line, and before you know it, they turned that first quarter 17-point deficit into a 29-point victory. So if you're Houston, you have to get off to a terrific start, shoot early in the clock, and try to rain some threes on your home floor.
You know, the only positive that I've seen is it was good to see James get going again. I mean, he got hot. He kept the team afloat, actually had them way up. But to me, I just don't understand. The whole world knows how good the Warriors are in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. And without having a Chris Paul, who is the master at controlling the tempo, getting the team a good shot, defensively scrap, like he's the master of things like that. At the start of the third quarter, you're up 10. You got to dribble the air out of the ball. You got to slow it down. You can't shoot crazy threes real quick, letting them get off and get back in the game and get confident, because we know that third quarter is the Warriors' quarter, period. So without that general, that captain out there and Chris Paul, the game got away from him very early in that third quarter, and it was to nobody else's surprise.
And they must get more from Tucker, must get more from Capella. They had 8 total points. That just can't take place if you're going to find a way to eliminate the Golden State Warriors.
Obviously, the million-dollar question that everyone wants to know entering Game 7 is whether or not Chris Paul can play. Mike D'Antoni said today he thinks it will be a game-time decision. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Look, the Rockets probably are going to be without Chris Paul. So if that is the case, how do you win Game 7 at home?
I think there's only one way you can do it. You know, it got to be on the defensive end. You got to be scrappy. You got to really be physical with KD, who hasn't had a great series. You got to be very physical with Steph, and you have to just feed off your crowd, you know, and James has to be special.
Yep.
Yeah, and James has to be special, and a couple other guys, the Eric Gordons, maybe a Gerald Green, a Trevor that, you know, jump out there, hit 4 or 5 threes. But this is why you work so hard to have home court advantage. Mm-hmm. This is the reason why, because that's an advantage, right? And you're shorthanded on the floor, but you have to do it on the defensive end. I'm probably sure their head coach is not telling them that, because he's an offensive guy, and that's my guy. I love Mike. But the wins that you've gotten in this series have been because you've scrapped really hard defensively. So there's your game plan.
I believe in miracles, but I know you're going to see it at the bottom of the ticker, but Chris Paul ain't playing.
Well, even if he does, he's not going to be Chris Paul.
Chris Paul ain't playing.
Well, yeah, but we have to tell everyone what exactly
he not playing.
Fair enough.
You go in there and you need to tell Eric Gordon, we need you to have the best game you've ever had in the playoffs. PJ Tucker, we need you to continue to bring that toughness and still make some threes. Trevor Ariza has been terrific defensively. His shot has come and go. They're not going to go deeper into their bench. However, you do have guys like a Gerald Green that'll get you points and flurries. He can throw up a 9-point quarter or a 15-point half. So you're relying more because you're playing less guys. Mike D'Antoni all of a sudden isn't going to say Chris Paul is out. Now he's going to go 9-10 deep into his rotation. He's just not going to do that. I've sat over there and watched this happen. So based on that, that's what I would try to get accomplished with my team, by letting them know he's not coming back, but I'm going to need more out of you guys.
I still feel so bad for
you.
I do too.
You know what?
Bad for you,
I
CP3.
do too, actually. Jeez. As a fan of the game,
He's a champion.
bummed.